Hello. On Monday, the 13th of April 2020, we saw an announcement from Kevin Anderson, the New South Wales State Minister for Better Regulation and Innovation, and Dominique Perrottet, the New South Wales State Treasurer, in regard to a support package for landlords and tenants who are impacted as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Jonah Tolley, the Principal of the Rental Specialists, and since that announcement on Monday, we've been absolutely inundated with questions from landlords and tenants about what it all means and how they're affected. So we're going to break it down with a few simple Q&A videos, and this is our first video in the series, and the question is, well, what was the announcement? Briefly, there were two parts to the announcement. The first part was that $440 million will be allocated towards rent relief in the form of land tax waivers or rebates, and this is to be split evenly between the commercial sector and the residential sector. That's effectively a $220 million commitment in the residential sector from the New South Wales Government to help encourage both landlords and tenants to reach agreement on rent relief. Now, the term rent relief package is somewhat misleading, and the whole package was a huge letdown for both landlords and tenants in the residential space, who had all been anxiously awaiting the announcement for a number of weeks. The government, when they were addressing the commercial sector, said eligible landlords will be able to apply for a land tax concession of up to 25% of their 2020 calendar year land tax liability on relevant properties. A further land tax deferral for any outstanding amounts for a 3-month period will also be offered to land tax who claim the land tax concessions. Now, that's fair enough and quite easy to understand, but there has been no such statement made about land tax relief as it relates to residential landlords, so all we can do is make the assumption that it's the same for residential landlords. And therein lies the problem. You see, a lot of residential investors only own 1 or 2 properties, and because of that, may not even incur a land tax liability each year. And if that's the situation for a landlord, then there's no relief or assistance for them in exchange for providing a residential tenant rent relief by way of a deferment or credit. Now, the second part of the announcement went on to confirm that there will be a moratorium on evictions of residential tenants who are impacted by COVID-19. The moratorium is legislated as the Residential Tenancies Amendment COVID-19 Regulation 2020, and it falls under the Residential Tenancies Act 2010. Now, a couple of things were made clear during both the announcement and in the subsequent media release that was issued, and they are: firstly, that unpaid rent during this time will accrue as arrears. And to this point, I'll add that they'll accrue as arrears unless they've been waived by the landlord. And the other thing that was made clear during the minister's announcement was that landlords and tenants are to negotiate an outcome between the parties in the first instance. There will be a forced negotiation between the parties. Be aware, just because there's now a moratorium on the eviction of impacted households, that doesn't mean that there can't be evictions if the tenant doesn't pay their rent. What the announcement has done is provide some framework and structure around an eviction process should one be required. Now, one supplementary question that we'll answer right now is, how long is the moratorium period? Now, the moratorium period is for 6 months, and it starts from the 15th of April 2020. Now, in our next episode, we'll talk about what these temporary laws do say about evictions. If you'd like further information about this topic or any other topic as it relates to your investment property in New South Wales, feel free to be in touch. You can call us, you can email us, you can visit our website, or you can even check out all the videos that we've got on our YouTube channel. Take care.